That's a wife.
But is he also not a doctor? He's not a doctor.
I know, but this story is for the wife.
Yes, but
wife.
Okay, because of how unless you see the picture, you think
that is the man.
It is the man.
Yeah.
Did he add Mrs.?
No, it's just Dr. Sian Japan. So she's Dr. Adelaide Sian Japan.
Yes.
Okay, right. So yeah. Also here, convert petroleum margins to taxes. ASAP urges government. And daily graphic. Back page. Japanese embassy signs $220,000 grant agreements with 3 bodies. Which bodies are those? Okay, I'll get that later. And Rotary Club Alliance for Smiles begin free cleft lip and palate surgeries. I mean, always good news when you hear such stories, and a breath of fresh air as well. There's also another story I missed out. New security bosses named. I see COP Nathan Watch's picture there, retired. And then avoid fuel shortage. WAPCO delays. Avoiding fuel shortage. WAPCO delays pipeline cleaning. So that's it for the Daily Graphic newspaper.
All right, let me give you the Ghanaian Times this morning. President named security couples Prosper Bani, Charles Kipo, Kofi Boache, Razak occupy top posts. And it comes with the pictures of all the individuals mentioned here. NGO launches initiative to promote access to safe drinking water and exercise restraints. President appeals to trouble sports. And court restrains woman from traveling out of country with daughter. Let me give you that story, page 3. I'm very sure it's got to do with custody battle. Juvenile, and the story is by Cliff Kufu, our friend. A juvenile court in Accra has ordered the commander of the CID division of the Ghana Police Service headquarters in Accra to prevent Miss Karen Baba Sam from traveling out of the country with her 4.5-year-old daughter, name withheld. The directive follows Miss Sam's refusal to comply with an earlier order by the court, asking her to leave her daughter in the custody of Mr. Kwejueje, the daughter's father, pending final determination of a suit brought against her by Mr. Ajay. The court, presided over by Ms. Benis Mensima Akon, also ordered the Director General of the Ghana Immigration Service to prevent Ms. Sam from traveling out of the country with a girl. Also, as predicted, it's a custody battle.
Very unfortunate.
Very.
Right, so
the other headlines here.
Yeah, I thought you were done. Sorry.
The other headlines here. Japan supports Ghana with $220,135 for grassroots project. Let me give you the amount again. $220,135.
Oh, the money is not enough for you.
No, I'm just the headline.
What you are saying is like, you can find this more under someone's bed.
Exactly, or better still, see, we are poor, we know that, and nobody needs to remind us of that. But if we are gifting us something, not $220,000.
Hey, you are ungrateful.
No, the ungratefulness, Charlie.
Now who costs some?
If we accept $220,000 donation or gift, or however you describe it, for our development, how much of this will we accept from how many countries before we develop? We are not getting there. We should be able to say at the point that I beg 220,000 there, we can raise it on our own. You see that thing? Anyway, so the story is that 3 beneficiary institutions yesterday received a total amount of $220,000 as grant support to enable them to undertake health and educational projects under the grant assistance for grassroots human security project. It's even got to do with human security. The beneficiary institutions are the Wasa Memphis Central District Assembly, the Achinase District Assembly, the Center for Active Learning and Integrated Development, and non-governmental organizations. Yeah, non-governmental organizations, no problem. Yeah, they will have something to do. But Charlie, state institutions. Anyway, thank you, Japan. Introduce policies to reduce production transport costs of staple food. That's according to the Ghana Statistical Service. That is it for the Ghanaian Times.
All right.
Okay, the New Crusading Guide newspaper. MPP rejects oral. Minority urges former officials to snub invitations. Yeah, so the minority is asking their members to not to honor invitations by the oral. But are they going to invite people?
No, they've not been inviting people. But they've been engaging or embarking on site visitations, right? And I've heard them say that it's about they are validating their reports. So if somebody comes to them and tells them that this state land has been sold to Dedei, Tettey, which will not be out of place because the land belongs to her anyway, it's on her land. There's a need for them to follow up and come find out whether indeed the land has been sold to Dedei, Tettey. That's why they are visiting the sites. Okay, no problem. So the minority is saying that the former officials should not avail themselves in case they are invited. So it's a preemptive caution. Yes.
Right. But people think that the site visiting is a way of investigating.
Yeah,
it's
because
just
they
a
don't
very-
have investigative powers.
It's a verification
That's
of your
the
claim.
tradition they are giving.
They can't just sit aloof when you say, "Oh, this person has done this person has done that."
But if it's a private property and they can, you can sack them.
Of course.
Thank you.
Right. Okay. Sure. All right. So, Africa Prosperity Dialogues 2025 to advance African economic integration and also resilient leadership key to business growth. Dr. Mrs. Sianwe Japan and IMF hails Akufo-Addo's economic record and also court orders CID Immigration and Social Welfare to stop women from traveling with minor. I think that was the story you read about the battle for custody. So that's the New Crusading Guide newspaper. Dedei.
All right. The Daily Post newspaper front page. Mahama names national security capos, and it has a picture of Prosper Douglas Bani, national security advisor, DCOP Abdul Usman Razak, national security coordinator, and there's been I think since the announcement was made, people have been talking about how he was sidelined.
Prosper.
See, your mind is on here. I'm talking about DCOP Abdul Osman Razak, national security coordinator. Since the announcement was made, people have been talking about he going through a lot in the past 8 years.
Because he's an active serving member of the
Yes,
Ghana Police
yes.
Service. Oh, okay. I'm
They
told
say
that
he was former aide camp for John Mahama.
Okay.
When he was vice and when even became.
yeah, those tags
President.
stick. Those tags stick. Yeah, and usually these portfolios are given to active serving either police or military officer. You remember?
The national security coordinator position.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. And you remember there was this man who had been recommended by the Ministerial Commission report to be transferred. No, in fact, to be more or less like interdicted. And he was working at the Blue Gate, and I'm talking about the National Security Outfit, and then he was transferred back to the military. So usually the work of the coordinator is to link all the security agencies. So more or less like a liaison officer between the police, the military, and other. Of course, mind you, the national security has a standby personnel as well. They have national security personnel that they work with, and so that will be the work of the coordinator.
I see. All right. Other stories here. Ibrahim Mahama steps in to fund 160,000 medical bill for 2-year-old girl with hole in heart complications, and God bless him for always coming through for some of these complicated, issues. Use your phone to reply. So, other stories here. Mahama recalls diplomatic passports. I just wanted you to see it. Mahama recalls diplomatic passports issued by previous governments for verification. Benjamin Madugu Avonyoche writes on restructuring Ghana's national security architecture, the role of newly appointed National Security Advisor Prosper Bani. I'm done with the Daily Post newspaper.
Yes, the Chronicle this morning. Court orders retrieval of child from unlawful detention by mother. This must be a very powerful family. The story runs through all the papers. Vetting of ministers. Chairman Sheldon Mahama nominees from proper scrutiny. Minority alleges. And then Boko conflict. Mahama buckles down. Visits Nairi. Otumfo is next. NDC woman has not officially been confirmed dead. So yesterday we carried a story with a headline, "Police conduct scientific probe into the death of NDC woman." Our attention has since been drawn to the fact that though the whereabouts of the lady is not known, she has not officially been confirmed dead. The error is deeply regretted. Signed, Editor, Chronicle. Quotation for this morning, Colossians 3:21. Fathers, do not embitter your children, or they will become discouraged. And I'm sure this is in relation to this custody battle. A custody battle can be serious, eh? It can
Sometimes
be acrimonious.
changes the lives of the children forever.
Forever. And to say that these are two individuals that shared the same shelter together, right? And were in love, regardless of what your definition of being in love is. And for something to happen and turn them into avowed enemies, to the extent that they are unable to deal with their own challenges, they will have to resort to the judicial system, which is most at times unforgiving, which drives wedges between the two individuals that might remain there forever, and like you mentioned, will affect the children and how they even grow up. It's interesting, but such is life. Such is life. So that's it. Just that in all this, the welfare of the child or the children must be paramount. Yep, I did some attachment with the social welfare department when we were doing social work on campus, and there's a reason why these hearings are not open to the public. I'm talking about here custody battles and domestic issues involving children. You sit there and you realize that, yes, we have a system that is seeking to protect the children, the welfare of the children. For that, you can be rest assured. But the litigations can be very, 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 very acrimonious. Actually, it is what it is.
It's your turn.
Right, the inside newspaper. IMF praises Akufo-Addo for imposing economic hardships on Ghanaians. I think this
That's
sarcasm.
mischief. But I don't know. What is it with all these commendations? Or it's just formality?
Yeah, but the woman especially.
Yeah, why?
The IMF, no, even when
Even
the
when she
previous
was in office.
administration, yes, was in office.
With the same
Yeah,
cordiality.
she's
diplomatic.
She loves Ghana. Let's see. She
But
was
see-
our ambassador that, like, with that portfolio. She was. That's the point. She put in a word for us, even
I
when the
get it
Paris
too.
Club. Yeah,
I get it, but you see, sometimes we just need to tell ourselves the truth.
exactly.
And that's why people feel sometimes that, some of these Bretton Woods institutions they aid our problems. They aid our misbehavior, if I can call it so, because they overly pamper our leaders. I mean, and it happens across.
Yeah.
Irrespective. Sometimes they are in government, they keep saying the nice things until they leave office. I mean, that's why we should be more serious with our own development and not always be looking for validation
Yep.
from these institutions
Yep.
or from outside our own country.
Yeah, but at the point, I think after the elections, there were comments equally from the IMF that said we're not out of the woods yet.
Yes.
Yeah, so maybe in the same way we are all praising Dr. Bawumia for conceding early, right? The president did that, and other external institutions equally have done that. So Akufo-Addo is leaving office.
Okay.
The last we can do is tell him that you did well, because they actually work together. The IMF prescribed solutions to our economic problems, and the president implemented. Right? We are still under the IMF program. When we exit and they know that we are on our own, then maybe they will be critical of how we are managing things. Now it is their antidote that we are administering. You get the point.
It's sad. Anyway, yeah.
Right.
Let's continue.
Achim Eswum chief wants Akufo-Addo's special presidential mobile chair kept in a museum. this is interesting.
Did he take it
So,
along?
I think so. That's what
What we know is that Muhammad is not using it.
Yeah.
That we know for a fact. right? So as where it is, we cannot tell.
Well, we'll only be able to tell if perhaps he goes for an event and he has the chair.
No, so the chief is alleging that.
Will you
Yes.
go with that chair to an event in opposition?
Ah,
If you are Akufo, will you show up at even an event? At least in the interim, will you?
it was shocking.
Oh. Yes.
So the chief says
I
that.
don't think he doesn't follow the rules. Though.
So the contingent of Achimisum Nana Buedi Aponim Obodade the third says the chair should be taken from the former statesman and placed in a museum to generate revenue for the country, provided it was not purchased with Akufo-Addo's personal funds.
Okay.
He likened the chair. No, he noted that the chair had been no. He said no. So I read the story and said that during the inauguration, Akufo-Addo didn't come there with a chair, and so he
Yes.
was feeling uncomfortable.
Yes. That's
So
what
did the
person-
president say-
So wait, the person is just observing and
Yes.
This sarcasm. You know the swim chief, right?
the one who said,
Yeah. It's just being sarcastic.
unbelievable.
Or in a second things that don't allow him to take the chair away.
Yeah.
Well, I would agree if that's the case, it should.
Oh, but it had the coat of arms embossed on it, right? So I doubt that it will be a private property. For that, I agree. So that we were here talking about setting up museums for former president. Yes, if we go along those lines, of course, we can keep all these things, including the pens that he used to sign assent bills and what have you. We could keep all of them there. Even the car that he drove.
Yeah.
Yes.
But we have to use the car. The car there.
Let me tell you what happens. See, no president uses a car used by the other. Yeah,
Really?
the other team member, no president. They don't do it.
So they change it.
We've seen the former president, now the new president, using a private vehicle that he was using. Yeah, they are comfortable with that. It's private. They will use it. When they are exiting, then they exit with it. But of course, where those vehicles are purchased by the state, Mahama is using his own vehicle because he was denied the courtesy of being given vehicles when he left office.
Okay.
So some were procured for him privately. So it doesn't come as a surprise that he's still using those ones. But there are vehicles in the fleet that other members of the president convoy will use. But usually what happens is that no new president will use the same vehicle that was used by the former president. No, it doesn't happen.
Okay.
Interesting.
All right.
Right. Group hails President Mohammed's historic trip to Boko. And I think that's all for the Insight newspaper.
All right. Daily Dispatch newspaper. Mahama appoints Bani, Kipo, and 2 others to key security slots. We are still shocked by the results of the parliamentary elections, NPP guru says. And stop Baba Sam traveling with Charlton. Stop Baba.
Sam.
Hey, you ready? I'm saying Baba. Stop Baba Sam from traveling with child. So that's the call. Anyway, that's a story that Ibrahim read to us earlier. It has to do with the custody issue. That's it for the Daily Dispatch newspaper. Let's go to the various portals. I'll start off with starfm.com. .gh. Let's see what's on the front page. Or starfm.com.gh. Okay, it's taking a while. Let's see. Okay, got it now. Hopefully loads in time. You're still listening to the newspaper review segment on the Morning Star on Star 103.5 FM. Starfm.com.gh. Stories here. Oral committee doesn't need any constitutional backing. Adam Senano says tackle prices of 15 key items, including Amani, Gobe, Trotro fares to stall inflation. GSS to government.
Key drivers.
They are the key drivers, yes. Keeping the lights on. AIES calls for political accountability in Ghana's energy sector. Also, Ghana Premier League is sinking and unattractive, ex-Blasters player says. And fetish priest jailed after defrauding a minor. And South Korea impeached president arrested after investigators scale walls. And then your temperament was noticed not your questions. Bonato Apenyo marking, and don't honor oral invitations. Minority to Ekufuado's appointees. That's it for starfm.com.gh. What about you, Rhyme?
City Newsroom, we've received over 700 petitions. That's according to ORA. And the big Mahama, no need for new private sector participation in ECG. Sami Crab eyes MPP national chairmanship in 2026.
Hey,
yeah. We are only against intended mode of privatizing ECG. That's according to Pool. Edward Bauer, privatizing ECG key to retooling and harnessing private sector expertise. And we are still shocked by the outcome of the parliamentary elections. Justin Kudria, I think you might have to look at the headline again. We are still shocked by the outcome of the parliamentary elections. The outcome is the same as results. So if you say we are still shocked by the outcome of the parliamentary results, it's tautology. Outcome is the same as results. So we are still shocked by the outcome of the parliamentary elections. Justin Kudria. Free tuition for first-year university students will proceed despite criticism. That's a pack. National Cathedral officials, others listed in Mohammed's diplomatic passport recall. And NPP has become a party. NPP has become a weak party. That's according to Sami Crab. I will ensure regional development and complete all stored project. Ashanti Regional Minister designate. Amin Adam has inspired confidence in Ghana's economic future. I am a boss. That is it for the City Newsroom.
All right. Yep.
Right. Ghana Web. Former MP blames Mike Okwe for MPP's historic electoral defeat. And this former MP is Yuji
Bachi entry.
Yeah.
He says that the same principle should be applied. John Boydo was removed because he said he had lost in Parliament for 137, from 169 to 137. And this one, they moved from 137 or 138 all the way to 88. So the same rule should apply. He should go.
Yeah, I think he wants to be a general secretary.
Okay.
Yeah, so he's campaigning.
All right.
I will rebuild Akufo-Addo's destroyed statue, that a pastor pledges. Tensions brew in Greater Accra Regional NDC as organizer fights chairman.
The Tettey is organizer?
No,
He's
secretary. No.
Yeah, now they are all fighting. So
What is the problem?
chairman is fighting secretary, secretary is fighting chairman. Now organizer is fighting chairman. Yeah, everybody is
So
fighting.
two against
everybody.
one.
Yeah, everybody is
So-
fighting everybody.
And also, we squandered the goodwill of Ghanaians. MPP has become a weak party, Sami Crab. And also, court orders CID, Immigration and Social Welfare, to retrieve minor from woman. And also, task force arrests 5 suspected illegal miners at Wenchi Atuna. I think those are the headlines on Ghana Web.
All right.
All right.
Thank you very much, gentlemen, for the newspaper review segment. We'll go for a break. When we return, it will be time for legal check, and then after that, we'll bring you the first check as well. It's the Morning Star here on Star 103.5 FM.